From the Old Testament, I am taking about a woman, Hannah. The story of Hannah is in Ist Samuel, in chapter 1 onwards. There was a man whose name was Elkanah, and he had two wives. The first wife had children, sons and daughters, and the second wife had none. So she used to be very sad about it. Every year, according to the custom, the children of God would go to their city at the high temple to give their yearly offerings in the temple where the Ark of Covenant was kept. And during that time, Eli was a high priest. According to the customs of that time, a lot of offerings in the form of gold, silver, crop, animals, sacrifice, and so much was given to the temple of God by the people. And Eli was the high priest. So the man would give portions of the offering to his wife who had children, and to each of the children he would give lot of offerings. But to Hannah, who had no children, he would give double the amount because he loved her a lot. But Hannah used to feel miserable. By the way, the other wife of Elkanah, whose name was Peninnah, and she would always torture her with her words, and that made her very sad. So one day, this time when she went, she was very earnestly praying to God at the altar, literally pleading God to give her a son. And she takes a vow that, Lord, if you give me a son, I will give him to your service. Eli thought that the woman is either drunk or something, that she is pleading so much. For what is she pleading? He never knew. So when he came to know that this is the thing with this woman, Hannah, he said, whatever you are asking from God, go in peace. God will grant you with what you were pleading for. So the next time that she came, she was blessed with a son, and she called him Samuel, which means giving from God. And later on, more children were born to her. Keeping her promise, she gave her son Samuel in the service of the Lord. So he was there with Eli when he grew up to be a little bigger boy. He was in the temple serving with Eli at the Ark of the Covenant. And one day, when the lights were dim, Eli had already become very old and he couldn't see much also. He was sleeping near the covenant, near the lamp. And he heard a voice calling him. He thought Eli is calling, so he went and said, yes, I'm here. He said, I did not call you. And it happened thrice. A voice came. He again went to Eli, the high priest. The priest said, no, I did not call you. Now Eli understood it is God who is calling him. Because during that time, the concept of God had become very rare. People were more into offerings. Come and give lot of offerings, and then for the near the Ark of Covenant, and in giving offerings, the rituals were done. The concept of God was getting forgotten, And there was not much of a revelation that behind all this there is a God. So he said, this time when you hear the voice, say, I am here, your servant, and I hear what you say. God revealed to him about Eli's son that they had become very corrupt. They were stealing from the lot of offering that was given in the church, in the temple of the Lord where Ark of Covenant was kept. And God was much displeased with them. So God has taken the generational they would have from the priests, the sons would become the priests. So he had taken away that power from them, and it was understood the power is now given of being as blessed by God to make Samuel as a high priest. Once Eli is no more. He was very afraid to tell in the morning when Eli asked him what God has said. But he said, don't worry, say, tell me. And so he said. Later on, Samuel did become a high priest, much blessed by God, and through him, many things were done by God. So God uses certain wombs of a mother. And the mother he chooses is the one who's prayerful. Many children are born each year, and still they are being born. But when a mother is used by God to pray, when she's expecting a child, in Hannah's case, she wasn't having a child, and she prayed. But in some cases, most of the cases, when a mother, young mother like me, in 20s when I conceived my firstborn, they pray, but not always. But some, God only motivates them to pray. Because if a child is coming through their womb is blessed, and something good soul is being sent by any woman who is prayerful. And then it so happens that these wombs, when are blessed, the mother has a special responsibilities to put the child into the word of God right from the beginning. They should know who God is, what are his commandments, what a child should do, how he should conduct his life. So some wombs are very special of a mother who is prayerful. And this happens when you come in the various chapters of Psalms, New Testament, everywhere God has said special instructions for the children. He says to the parents that they are the rewards to your prayers. Your children are the rewards to your prayers. Jesus says, don't let the children go. Bring them to me. Because the kingdom of heaven, to enter into the kingdom of heaven, your mind and your character and you should be like a child, pure, simple. And then he gives instruction to the son. He says, son, listen to your father's instructions and to the teachings of your mother to glorify you. Because if you honor your father, if you hear the instructions of your father and hear and follow the teachings of your mother, you will be blessed with a very blessed long life. This is what is the promise for honoring, respecting, following the instructions of your father and listening to the teachings of your mother. These are certain blessings, certain instructions which are given to children also. how they should conduct their life and how they should be doing. So, what compels the children to listen to their parents or the mother's teachings is not like that. It is not an easy work. The seeds have to be sown right from the beginning when they are small, when they see their mothers prayerful, and if the mothers make, who play a very big role in bringing up a child, not the father, but the mother. If the child is always very close to the mother, when the mother sits with the children, which is written in the Bible, give some time to your children, sit with them. Because when you sit with them, you will put some good things, good seeds inside of them. So when you sit with them on the table, say and always sow some very good seeds in them. What you have learned and what you're supposed to do. Tell your children about the good things, about the instructions that God has given, about the teachings of being a good child, how they should conduct the life. If they are sitting with your parents and you make it into a habit, I have made it in the morning hours at the breakfast table. We do not discuss anything but something good we share. It has been like this with me for a long time, because as a young girl, when I got married, I was in 20s only, and as I conceived, somehow I have already studied and the chapter of Samuel, and when I saw this prayer of Hannah, I did the same prayer because I wanted a son. It's not in my times too much. We are 5 sisters, and every time we were born, the girls were born, my father was the only son to his mother. And when we girls were born, one after the other, we were 5. My grandmother always distributed sweets. So we never heard of this girl-child stuff which we hear these days. It was not at all there. And so many girls in the house. When I got married, I'm the second child in the house, second girl. We have one brother. But somehow God made me read this particular chapter of the Bible. I also wanted a son, my firstborn. My husband also being the only child of his parents. And I prayed this for 9 months. God blessed me with the child. Then I felt it is a great responsibility of me. Like Hannah, she promised, she made a vow to God that I'll give him in your service. I said the same prayer. Therefore, I was always right from his childhood talking about all the biblical topics. Whatever I make videos of today, he already has been aware of it, and he knows all that because mommy talks. I talk and he listens. So all these instructions, all these small seeds, I took it as my duty to tell him. So the mothers have a lot of responsibility towards taking care of their children and guiding them towards Lord. The instructions, the teachings, so that it is written in the Bible, teach your child while they are young the good things of life, so that when they are old, you are not bothered. You know that you have sown good seeds, and even in the corrupt world, they will always be different because they know the repercussions of the evil. So the teachings will always come as a memory, what mommy has taught. This is very important. Every womb is not blessed. A mother, when she conceives a child, if she is prayerful and asks for anything, and if it is God's will and the wish is granted, then a mother should know that a blessed soul is coming to the world. You have to keep the gift from being corrupted. If somebody gives you a precious stone or a gold set or something very, very precious, you just don't throw it away. You keep it in a locker, you safeguard it. So are the children. They are the gift when you have specially asked, and when your wish was granted, they become a more precious than gold, silver, or anything of this world. You have to guard your child, your children from the corrupt world. And you can't do it when they are old. Sow the seeds when they are young, so that, if not all, perhaps some seeds will grow in them. Always guard your child as a mother. I too did my best to sow the seeds in my son, who I always consider my prayers being asked, that I asked was granted through God to me. So we always considered with all humbleness my son to be a gift from God. I always protect him with the instructions, with the prayers, and with the godly things. He helps me a lot into this. And today, when he's a grown-up boy, doing his own business, he does take care of me a lot. As a child, would look after his old mother. He's a grown-up boy. I was married very young. So, a young mother's child becomes now big boy. And he takes care of me a lot. We both are so humbled and so thankful to God. Today is a special day for me. 13th of June is the day when my wish was granted and my son was born to me. A gift of God today on 13 June. Some years back, long years back. He's grown up now, doing his own work, doing his own business. But the way he cares about me, I am so thankful to God and will always be. The gift which God gave me as a son, and I asked for that. I did my best to bring him up into being a good boy. With God's help and my prayers, it has always been that I am taken care by my child so well. Humbled and proud mother. Every womb that prays for a blessing of a child, when God gives you that what you have asked for, always remember that was a gift given to you to make your children good, children safe in the world where so much of corruption is there, and put them on the right path. This is the duty towards God to us, the parents. So, children are a gift from God. And God says, when I see my gifts doing well in life and living according to the ways I commanded them to live, I feel so pleased. It is written in Psalm. The description, you will find all the verses that I have taken from different chapters. I have taken from Proverbs, I have taken from Psalm, and I have taken from Ephesians 6. Honor your father and mother. Listen to the instructions of your father and listen to the teachings of your mother. That will be a garland over your head and a pendant on your neck. This is what God has said to the children. Tell your children when they are young, when they are old, you can't do anything. They are made whatever they are. The biggest thing God said is find time, sit with them. Instead of pouring into your children your agonies, your hatefulness for other family members or whatever outside has happened, you are making them a garbage box in which you throw your trash. Do not use your children as a trash and put garbage inside them. Your hatefulness or whatever you have inside of you for anyone, just keep it to yourself and deal with that. With children, when they are small, just teach them to pray, teach them to respect people, and find time for God. Whatever you can teach good of this world, teach your children when they are small, so that when they grow up, they become good children. And then you need not feel any kind of agony or any kind of fear, because you have brought up your child properly. Now they are in the world, because after they grow up, they go in the world and they have to face many things in life. God will be with them and He will guide them for taking proper decisions, doing proper work. Where it is not correct for them, God will always keep them away and guide them away from that. Give them different opportunities which are good for them. The opportunities they may feeling that are good, if it is not good, God will remove them from that place and put them into another projects or any work. Follow the instructions, children, from what your mother says, the teachings and the instructions of your father. And as parents, while your children are very, very young, small, sow good seeds in your children so that you sit back and enjoy your life. And you know that your Father above is taking care of everything of your child. I will ask all my viewers to bless my child today, as it is his birthday today, 13 June. And with your blessings and the blessings of his parents and God, he will go further in life doing good. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, subscribe, and share my channel, Words of Wisdom Decoded by Anita Binepal. And this is Anita Binepal from Mussoorie. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your blessings. God bless you all too.